of applause for Liverpool Football Club. Um, can't say fight and through adversity and just come out on top. It's a beautiful thing. I'm proud of the boys. Um, yeah, I mean it was again the scenes when the game was over. Those guys were spent, leaving it late. Typical Liverpool fashion. But listen, nothing to complain about. 7-6, I think, doesn't really tell the true story. But I will say this: all due respect, Calcio, Italian football. Listen, Serie A have some strong teams. And this season they had two teams that got um, pretty far into the competition. One maybe a shocked, well, most likely a shock for most people. The other is Juve, who um, were unlucky maybe here or there, depending on who you ask. Um, but Roma are a good team. They are. I think the best team over the two legs was Liverpool, and we deserved to go through. Um, but Roma showed some things, and for everybody who wants to say they played long ball and dinosaur football tactics or whatever. Look, it worked for them, and let's be honest, or I'm going to be honest from my point of view is that if they made some different decisions, if the manager made some different decisions tactically in the first game, we may have a different outlook, or we may have had a closer than what it was. So that tactic worked for them, and unfortunately, that tactic does work against us. We've seen that in the league, for the most part in the league. And so, yes, it was a shock that they went the way they did in that first game, but they did, and that probably cost them. At the same time, you'll hear fans of Roma and Italian fans, which I understand it. Your team's not in the competition anymore. I get it. If the tables were turned, I probably would be somewhat salty as well. But at the end of the day, I'm on facts. I'm about facts and keeping it real. And the real is that, again, we were the best team over the two legs, in my opinion. They'll be talking about calls and lack thereof. Listen, they went both ways. You know what I mean? In my opinion, neither of the handball penalties in the first or second leg should have been called. They just shouldn't have been. It's simple as that. Yeah, you can say that Trent had a handball, should have been called, sure. Offsides or non-offsides, sure. There's a scissor tackle that Florenzi does on, I think, Mane. Listen, these things happen, and Klopp said it best in his post match. You need luck. You need things to go your way in these tournaments. You do. The best of them get it. You can say Real Madrid was lucky, or you could say that the defender on Juventus that second leg lost his mind for a second, and that cost him the game. You can say they were lucky that Bayern didn't take their chances. Listen, there's a lot of different talking points you can have, a lot of different opinions you can have. But I've said it before. Everyone's entitled to opinions, but you can never be entitled to your own facts. You know what I mean? And the fact remains is that Liverpool were the best team and deserved to go on, in my opinion, over the two legs. Um, so yeah, it was just great to see Mane in really good form. I think it's a joke that people say this is his best game in a Liverpool shirt. This is the same guy who's had hat tricks and probably could have had other hat tricks and has had amazing complete games. He had a great game, you know, and he got the scoring started. Um, but I've been able to just let it sink in and think about it and watch some of the game last night late. I went to sleep super late, just watching some footage, listening to what people were saying after the game, and we all know it. It's not even an elephant in the room at this point. We have got to be better. We've got to be even better. And to say that now for some people may seem like I'm being negative or whatever. So be it. We have to be better. Um, Real Madrid is going to be a test. It's not a test that I feel like is impossible. We've shown that that's not even a word that should be in our vocabulary in this tournament. Um, and people will talk about the way we got there and how it was easy. And listen, you got to play who you got to play. You know what I mean? And you can question even City now. People are questioning City because City don't really have a pedigree. So was that really an impressive victory? I think that's an interesting conversation to have. But you play who you have to play. We didn't make the draw for the group stage. We didn't make the draw for any of the matches. You know what I mean? And so in this competition, even with Roma. Porto, City, Roma were teams that we were told with Porto and Roma, they don't lose at home. They haven't lost at home. For Porto, it was all season up until that point. They hadn't lost at home. Put that to bed. Roma, they hadn't got the goals against them at home. Put that to bed. Yes, they won. We won on aggregate. They won. They won the game, and credit to them. For that fan base, you knew Roma was going to put up some kind of fight. With that manager and some of those players and that fan base and how loud they were at the Stadio Olimpico, it was just amazing, man. You could just hear it bursting through the television. It was amazing the support they showed for their team. So you knew they would fight, and you knew that they would change some things up. Their coach is no dummy. What I mean? He's played with Roma. I think he got Sassuolo up when they were down in the lower division. So you knew they would fight. You knew it would be a tough test. But I believe we passed that test with flying colors, and I'm proud of my team. I could care less what other people are trying to say to take away from the joy that we have in this game. But again, we must be better. And coming against Chelsea, we got to continue in this way. And I know guys are exhausted, and it's been a long season. It's been a trying, really, really tough Champions League run, going undefeated through it until this last game. But it's been tough, and no one said it would ever be easy. So this Chelsea game, all of a sudden now, is the most important game of the season. It really is, and a draw gets us through. But I want to win. I want to continue in winning, and it's really nice to know that even though we somewhat struggled in the last two games in the Premier League, two draws, one a score draw, one a nil-nil draw. I want to get to win. I want to get to winning ways again in the league, and here's our opportunity to do that. Look, Chelsea are hungry. They're gonna want to. They see that they're back in and around the last two places of the top four, and they're gonna want to get that. They're gonna want to get that of the season that they've had for their standards. Being defending champions, they're gonna want to fight for that. You know what I mean? And they're in a way now where they could do that. Put together something really nice for their season, a nice send off, maybe for Antonio Conte. So we got to be ready. We got to be ready, and you can enjoy the Champions League semifinal result, the victory on aggregate, and then get right back to business. Maybe have a day off today. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Klopp is gonna you know situate that, but we got to be back to business and go to Stamford Bridge and shut it down. That's what it is. It's the name of the game. Um, and again, I love what Klopp was saying afterwards. We still have two semifinals, so to speak, in the league. But I think we knocked Chelsea off and we're good. I know we knocked Chelsea off, we're good, or even a draw. But like I said, I want the win. Obviously, can't afford to drop all points here. Got to get something from this game, and hopefully it's 3 points. Hopefully that something is a win. So yeah, I mean overall for me, just can't say enough. Just so proud of this team. Um, everything that was said about Robertson. Why are we getting him? Ox. Why are we getting him? What is he gonna do for us? Losing Lala, losing that guy who went to Barcelona. Um, Matip. Just everything that we had against us, and to be able to do this is really really massive. And don't let anyone tell you anything different about having an easy way to go and being lucky. And listen, it's a competition that everyone needs that. If you can get it, great. The teams who hate on us would love to be in our position, especially the English teams. But yeah, again, shout out to Calcio, man. Italian football, they really stood tall in this competition this season, and they should walk away with their heads held high. They really should. I mean, really, really battled back in the second part of that game. And for Roy, what's up, man? So I'm really proud. I'm really happy. And just imagine that we're one step closer. And I said it before. I looked at the Roma and Real Madrid game, and I mean, I'm sorry, Real Madrid and Bayern, and I'd be silly to say Real Madrid aren't a good team. They are, but they can also be got at. They can also be got at, and our front three collectively will be much better than we were in this game. Yeah, overall, man, I agree. I couldn't agree more. I mean, overall, just a really really good team performance over this whole tie, over this whole Champions League, and they deserve all the credit. I'm sure the managers, the manager and the coaching staff, but the players deserve all the credit for sticking together through adversity, through mistakes in games. Um, got nervous there at the end, but Lord, man, when that whistle was blown, it was such a good feeling, man. Just straight. um, euphoria. I mean, it was just amazing, amazing. So yeah, but dust ourselves off, get ready for Chelsea. Can't wait for that. I thought it was Saturday, but we got to wait that extra day for that game. But I think 11:30 kickoff here in the states. So yeah, really looking forward to it, and I'm just gonna enjoy this for a few more days and just let it sink in. Man, I'm still not in shock, but just amazed at the Brendan Rodgers here character, but really amazed at the character we showed all season. Really, surely we have some disappointing moments. As a Liverpool fan, that's something we've kind of gotten used to from time to time, and trying to enjoy a game even when we're up, and maybe not being able to enjoy it fully because in the back of our mind, let's be honest, most of us, I would say, think, you know what, this looks good, but can we wrap it up? And we did it, and so just amazing. Salah talked about it after the game with Carragher and was just saying, he spoke about this competition and winning something. Ah, nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's amazing, right? I mean, and in 1981 we won that. So hopefully the same situation comes. We'll get heavily into the whole talking points of that game. But I'm just happy we got through the Champions League final. We got to the Champions League final, beat Roma to do it, and there's so much to talk about building up to that game. But right now it's Chelsea, and we know what Chelsea have. I'll get more in detail before Sunday, but want everybody to just really enjoy this um, and be prepared to see Liverpool fight again away at another ground amongst some fans that'll definitely be trying to rile us up and trying to do everything they can to rain on our parade right now. So the boys will be ready for that. We're battle tested. We've been through so much this season. So see so many fans saying I don't care if we lose in the final. Yeah, and that it is so stupid. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up because I want to talk about that. And I feel like, again, it's that kind of pessimistic. Oh, I think for a lot of Liverpool fans, getting to the semifinal, just getting there was enough. Winning it was enough, and that's it for them. They don't, it's like, oh, Real Madrid, this big, scary beast of a team. We surely have no chance against them. And it is stupid, man. It, it bothers me to see that, but also it's not a surprise. Let's be honest. We know how some of the fan base is, and it's no shock there. It's something that I saw coming. So I agree. I agree. I think they are. I think they are. They've been watching us. You know what I mean? And there's a part of them that may think, yeah, too much confidence, man, too much confidence, and it's beautiful. Um, and they would have watched the Rome game and thought maybe, oh, we can get at them. But I watched that Bayern match, like I said, and both teams can get at each other. But I'm telling you now, that front three, not even just the front three, that team is going to be ready. 2 weeks to prepare. The team is going to be ready for Madrid. So we can definitely get at them, yes, and we will. So I'm not. I'm confident. There's no kind of doubt, nervousness, or anything like that at all. Um, yes, we got to finish our chances, but so do they. And we realized that we let Roman back in the game. We did, and I think people will look at that as kind of like disrespectful. Why is it that you guys let us back in? Why didn't we just take it? But that's just the case. You know what I mean? Like you got the own goal. Some of the goals you got were just. Uh, did you really work for it? I don't know. You know what I mean? And again, I don't want to. I've given Roman credit. You know what I mean? They deserve it to be able to fight back like that. They do. Um, and maybe a few more minutes, maybe the game gets even more crazier. You know what I mean? Maybe it goes into extra time. I don't know, but we definitely did switch off, and a lot of it is trying to figure out in game management, how you're going to play, how you're going to switch things, being too careful, not wanting to make mistakes. And a lot of times in all sports, when you're too worried about not making mistakes, when you play scared, when you play not to get hurt, you end up getting hurt in more ways than one. Whether it's literally an injury or whether you're hurting your team, you get a little panicky, you get a little nervous. So those things happen, but I think again, I know again at the end of the day, we were the better team. So there's nothing anybody can say to me to have me think anything different. I mean that's just the case. So again, I'm glad you brought that up, Infraworld, about the fans saying they'll be fine if we lose in the final. Um, it is what it is. We must win this final. We must. It's a failure if we don't. To me, it does flatter them. It does flatter them. I agree. I agree. I couldn't have said it any better. And again, with all due respect, but it does. It flatters them. You know what I mean? That anybody watching that, looking at that score, would think, oh, that was a really close game or close tie, but it really wasn't. And then you think about the first leg, we could have gotten. I'm not even joking here. 7, 8, maybe 9. You know, Mane has a hat trick. Salah had a couple more chances. I don't know who else, but that game we could have blew them out of the water. You know what I mean? We had that moment where we lapsed defensively with Lovren, unfortunately, the penalty that which is not a penalty. Um, but you know, people are gonna be biased if they're Italian fans, and maybe biased if you're a Liverpool fan. Champions League win, we give the players the winning mentality. It would. That's all we need. You know what I mean? And you know, as hurt as I was in that Europa League final against Sevilla, even in the cup final against City, this will be a knock. I'd be proud of the team for the fight that they've shown to get to this point, but I'm not this we're not done yet. We have not accomplished the main goal. And that's what I think people need to realize. You know, it's all fine and well, of course, celebrate this. You should celebrate. The team should celebrate. The managers, everyone involved with Liverpool Football Club should celebrate this. But we have not finished our job. We haven't. We got a big business trip coming up to Kiev later this month. That is just that. It's about business. It's about going there and enjoying our football, showing Europe, showing the world, whoever's watching, that we are royalty when it comes to Europe. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And again, you're making some good points, Aaron, for Roar. That's what we need, I think, to push on. We need this to push on. Oh, me either, man. Me either, man. I wish I could be in Kiev for that. I mean, I really do. But you know, it's really big for the club. Obviously, it's really big for Klopp. All he'll be hearing is, oh man, I know it's crazy. I wish it was next week. I mean, I know I'm glad it's not because the team needs some downtime. You know, after finishing off the Premier League, we definitely need some time to prepare for Real Madrid, mentally prepare, physically prepare, and all that. So that's fine, of course. And hopefully by that time we'll have maybe some guys back that have had these long term injuries. But yeah, I mean that's what we need. You know, Klopp is going to be hearing it from now or from post match until the game that he can't win the big ones. And you know, why is that? Is he going to win this one? They're going to be 6 or 7, maybe more finals he's been to and not got wins. That's the big thing. That's the big thing, right? So again, this Chelsea game right now is the most important game. It's more important than the final right now, basically because it puts us back in the Champions League. If Kane is back, would you start him? That's a good question. You know, I'm gonna be biased here. I love Chan, and so yes, I'd play him. I don't know what Klopp is thinking, and it allegedly he's leaving for sure now, but he wants the club to announce it after the final of Champions League or something like that, end of the season. I guess keep the fans off his back, but they're on his back anyway, I believe. So I respect your opinion, man. I know you said we wouldn't. I don't think we need him, but I just being such a fan of Chan, I want to see him in the final. I get it, you know. He could. I wouldn't play because I don't think he'll have enough match fitness. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. If fit, he starts for you. Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, what do you think about Adam Lallana though? Do you think he should show in the final if he's fit? And do you think we should change our lineup for Chelsea or go full blow, get the result we need, and then relax for Brighton, and then you know, of course, getting the guys ready for the final? Give me your opinions on that, guys. Lallana on bench, okay. Okay, and then the starting 11 for Chelsea. Do you think it's the same that we had in the Champions League, or do you think somebody here or there needs a rest? I say we go full strength personally. Again, this is the next important match, the biggest match right now for our season. Full blow for Chelsea and get a point. Yeah, I think we should relax and go all out on the final. Yeah, yeah, that's why this Chelsea game, man. I didn't realize that draw was enough. I checked the numbers, and you know my math isn't the best, but I was talking to my wife. She said, "Yeah, 1 point does it." So and I kept seeing that on Twitter. I'm thinking people got this wrong because I thought for sure we needed to win. So just for sure we, yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, the same for Brighton because 3 week break is allowed without football. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a good point. That's a good point. Um, so yeah, man, it's just really good, and just looking forward to it. Looking forward to Sunday. Of course, another chance to watch Liverpool play, and hopefully we stay in winning ways. Only a few changes for Brighton. Only a few changes. Okay, so you still have somewhat of a strong lineup for Brighton even. Okay. Um, that's my main worry, man. Like you said, that getting knocks. Like we cannot afford anybody. Nobody needs to get injured right now. I don't care if they're backup for backup. We need everybody to be healthy because you just never know. But man, I can't wait for that final. We'll be able to wear red. Um, it's just gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful in Kiev, and I know the fans are gonna be traveling to be strong. Are you worried about Lovren against Ronaldo? I'm answering that. That's a good question. We can't have anyone injured anymore. Yeah, great question. Lovren, I think, obviously concerns us all. And to his credit, he's been really good at moments in this season as well. We have to remember that. We can't forget that, especially in the Champions League. He's been amazing. He's had those moments, and worried. I wouldn't say worried. Um, and I don't want him to be worried. I want him to go in there ultra confident because he should. Everybody on that team deserves and played a part in his role. If you could hold Jekyll. Yeah, well, the thing is, Jekyll still got, which it irritates me because I really don't rate Jekyll, and so it pissed anybody but Jekyll for me. I thought Nangolan was pretty good in that game. I think he gave away the well, I know he gave away the ball for the first goal, so thanks for that. But I think other than that, he gets the pin, he gets the shot from distance. He was pretty good in midfield. But back to Lovren. I'm not worried. I'm not. And it's really because I think we played way too deep against Roma at points in that game. It's a different game. You did quite well against. Yeah, yeah. I thought he did too. I thought he did too. Dzeko's definitely a different problem from Ronaldo. So you think if Dzeko could score a goal in each tie, of course Ronaldo is money to get at least one. I'd like to shut him out like Bayern did in the second tie of that game. But and to answer your question in short, no, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. My only concern is that we come through with no injuries, and that's my honest truth. I'm not worried about Lovren. I think collectively, defensively, everyone's gonna have to worry about Ronaldo, but not just Ronaldo. They got a lot of guys that can hurt you. Benzema to me had a good second leg, but I still don't rate Benzema. Sorry, newsflash, I don't really rate him. One of the goals was a give it was a slapstick moment from the goalkeeper. So it is what it is. I call it disrespectful, but I don't really rate Benzema. To me, he's not going to be a factor. Surely that means that probably he will now because I said that. But Bale, Benzema, no. You know, there are other guys though. Vasquez, Asensio, Isco. Of course in the midfield, Cruz, Modric. Say that again, Anfield Roy. I wasn't looking at the screen. My bad. Casemiro. Their defense is really improving as a unit. Carvajal, Marcelo to me is one of the best fullbacks in my lifetime that I've ever seen. I mean, amazing. And so, Varane and Ramos are forming a nice tandem back there at center back. So, you know, I think we haven't. I know we have enough to stifle this team. Yes, I said it, and also to hurt them. You know what I mean? They're not going to be defensive. Let's not be worried. Let's be excited. We're in the final. Let's not be worried. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree. No, I get it. Yeah, I get both of you guys. Robbo, I see where you're coming from, man, and definitely Anfer, I see where you're coming from. I think it's for a lot of people it could help to have like a happy medium. You know what I mean? I think as fans in general, you get nervous and maybe worry or whatever. But we got to use that. So as the players, there's nothing wrong with being nervous in general, but use that. When you get to panic mode is when it's wrong. Use that nervousness as a supporter. Use it and support your team. You know what I mean? And know that in light of any nervy moments, we can pull it around. We've shown that. So, um, just use it. And the players, of course, in that moment in the game, you have a small setback, keep fighting. Use it. Flip it inside out and use it as a positive. So, it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? But I get both sides, but not because I'm scared the team will mess up. Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, as football fans, you get that. You know what I mean? If we would have kept that 5-0 first leg, there still would have been some slight nervousness going into the second leg because of the unknown. and that's just a fact. It's an unknown. Sure, we were optimistic and confident. I know I was, and I know you guys were as well, and most of us were. But there's still the feeling of the unknown, and not because it's Liverpool and they mess up, but it's just the feeling of unknown. We're going away from home. We don't know what's going to happen. The things off the pitch. There's so many things going on. We just lost a manager or an assistant. There's so many things that go on that could trouble you a bit. You know what I mean? So, but as long as you keep the confidence in the team, as long as the boys keep the confidence in themselves, then we have nothing to worry about, man. We have nothing. I've said it before. We've faced a lot of things this season, and we've come out beautifully, swimmingly. So, yeah, I don't want to kill you guys too much with too much talk. I see we're missing or losing a couple viewers, but thank you for the guys who stood around. What is the story behind our assistant coach? If you want my opinion, because I don't think anybody would actually know the facts, and even Klopp kind of skirted around it when he was asked in the press conference, which you could understand. To me, they're really good friends, and like with friends or brothers, you fight, you bicker, you hate each other for a few minutes, then you kiss and make up. I like to believe they've had these troubles before, or not troubles. They've had this beef, maybe some small quarrels, um, and I think they can put it together again. But yeah, it just seems like maybe another episode in their private, relationship, and maybe it got to a point where they just said, you know what, I need to step away from this. And Klopp's like, okay, cool. So, the timing was definitely way off. But listen, it wasn't like he can play on the pitch anyway. He's, I think, a valued person in the club. You can actually see that, and so for that, it was a loss. But yeah, that's why I think people are trying to say it's personal reasons, so that would lead you to believe health, maybe family, but health or family is something you see coming, usually. I mean, now you get a sudden death in the family, okay, that's you don't really see that coming, maybe, but usually with health and things like that, you kind of know it's coming, and just to do it like that seems to me is something bigger and big enough for him to say, "I'm stepping aside," and for Klopp to say, "Okay," or maybe not, but for that to be the final result, the final outcome is that he's separated from the team. I don't like it. If you believe the rumors of him going to another team, Arsenal, I really don't like it. Um, so it's got to be something. It's got to be something, and I don't think it's something small. So we'll see. It'll be interesting how that plays out. Maybe we'll see Buvec at Arsenal or another team next season. Either way, it speaks to loyalty for me. I don't know if we have a replacement now or if we would need one now. But I don't know. Klopp might bring someone in. There's been talks of Gerard maybe sitting on the bench for the rest of the season. I don't see that happening. Especially his head's allegedly turned to what's the team, Rangers. So I don't know. But again, it's another person that has dropped off from our team. Whether it was something they forced, they wanted to happen, it was their decision, or it was through injury, which of course you can't knock them, but it's another man down. It's another man down. So the next manager needs to step up. What's the guy's name who people say looks like Klopp on our coaching staff? I don't agree with that. He's got kind of a long last name that I don't know if I've worked out how to pronounce, but him. You saw Genie run over to him when Genie scored a goal. Now maybe that was something in the beginning where he was trying to. Oh, was he the doctor? Oh, damn, my bad. I thought he was one of the coaches. Okay. Well, you saw Genie run over to him after Genie scored the goal. Now, whether that was something where he said in the beginning of the game, trying to build him up to say, hey, believe in yourself. They say you don't score away from home. Go out there and prove them wrong. Or maybe they had a bet between. I don't know. But you see he runs right over to that doctor. Physio type, I think. Not really doctor. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because so maybe my ignorance, because the physios I thought are doctors are the guys who run onto the pitch. I've never seen him do that, right? But I do see him on the bench with the other, whatever he is, But somebody needs to step up. We lost Pep already. We lost Buvac. So, but we have other managers there. I forget the other guy that's there that's been with him at Dortmund and all that. But anyway, I got off topic a bit. But yeah, replacement or not, we've been losing people for one reason or another this season, and we just keep fighting. We just keep fighting. We have each other, the guys who are ready and fit and want to be here and are playing. That's what we have. That's what we have. Would we like more reinforcement? Sure. Would we like a deeper squad? Hell yeah. But we don't have that right now. Would we like it that managers aren't leave or coaches aren't leaving? Sure. But it is what it is. So we you know we got to believe in what we have and fight for each other and with each other. So all right, man. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah. Big things are gone, man. Big things are gone. So really pleased, just really pleased, and again, thank you for everybody who's been here. If there's any last few questions, whether it's just my opinion on things or anything you want to share, let me know. All right, Robbo, thanks, man. See, most guys are leaving. If there's anybody still hanging around who wants to ask a question or say anything, go ahead and throw that out now. But yeah, just really proud, man. It's good to see the smiles on the guys' faces, all the things on social media, them celebrating in the dressing room, and Lovren with his things on his social. I mean, it's just nice to see these guys happy. The young guys there. Um, okay, cool. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna log off now, guys. Thank you for everyone who was there. You want to talk about the transfer season? Yeah, we'll get into that, Robbo. We'll get into that probably after the season. There's so much to cover on that. Players we kind of like, players we could stand and maybe see leave, which really is hurtful to say because I think again everyone who's on this roster right now who's playing has played a role one way or another. From the person who's plays the most limited minutes, which it looks like maybe Klavan, to the person who plays the most, which is maybe Firmino or Salah. Everyone's played a big role in this, so there's a lot to talk about and build up on that. So we'll definitely get to it, Rob, but at a later date probably. So anyway, thanks again, guys.